Hello everyone. Today in this video we will be discussing about n8n workflow automation. So n8n is a open source automation tool that lets you connect your application, your data, build workflows visually without writing any code, or I would say without writing full code. So you can just drag and drop nodes, connect APIs, databases, run code like Python or JavaScript inside our workflow. The reason many developers and business choose n8n is because it gives you complete freedom. You can self-host it, you can build without any limits, and you can mix no-code nodes, real code whenever you need more power. So in short, it is affordable, customizable, and perfect for automation that grows with you. In this video, we will be installing n8n in Docker Desktop. We will be creating a Google Sheet, or we'll be using an existing Google Sheet, read data from Google Sheet, and then as part of the workflow, we will be creating a Python code, which will do a small calculation and finally send the result to our email. Now, let's quickly jump into the actual installation of n8n. So for that, let me open terminal. So I'll be using Docker Compose to install this. So I already have a Docker Compose file here. Let me open that. Yeah, so it is having just one service, which is n8n, and we will be using the latest image of n8n, and the port it serves traffic is in 5678. Then the environment variable, which is one of the important things which we need to add it here, the time zone. If we don't give the time zone properly, there are chances of getting errors when we create or execute the workflows, not when creating, but while executing the workflows. Then, yeah, we have a volume also, which will be the local directory. This is in case if we have to rebuild the n8n, we need to have those credentials to be stored. So that's why we are adding the volumes. So all this information you will be getting in the n8n documents. So we have different forms of installation using npm Docker, then using Kubernetes. So there are a lot of variety of ways we can install in n8n, but I have chosen the Docker, the easiest way to do it. Okay, so let me run Docker Compose up and stay. Yeah, so the container has been created. Let me do a Docker PS and see. Yeah, we have the container running. Now let's go to the browser. It should be on localhost 5678. Yeah, so we will be landing on the sign up page where we have to enter our email ID, name, our first name, last name, then a password. Yeah, next. Right. So these are some basic things about us. So here, yeah, I'm not using this for work anyways. So let me just add something here. Yes, done. Get started. Okay, this is something related to the API key or the license key. If we'll be getting a free license, but to use it out, we have to subscribe to it. So for now, let me just skip this. Right. So we are at the home page of n8n. To start with, let's do start from scratch here, right? So this is where the page where we'll be creating the workflow. Here we can rename our workflow if required. So let me just give it n8 demo. Yeah, so done now. Now let's try adding our first step. For that, let me click on this plus icon. Yeah. So what triggers this workflow? Yeah, so we can set up some triggers. For example, let me say on a schedule. So here we can set when this workflow should run. Basically, it's a kind of cron. So for now, let me go back. Sorry, let me delete this. I'll add trigger manually. Okay. So here, what we are trying to achieve is that we will be creating a Google Sheet. In fact, I already have one Google Sheet created. So let me just log into Google Sheet now. Yeah, I believe I already have one. Let me just do this. Right. Yeah, so I have a Google Sheet with name daily report. So here there are three columns, date, name, and amount, just some random fields. Okay, now let's try to retrieve this data using n8n. So for that, we need to have a couple of permissions to be given for the n8n to connect to Google account. So to start with, we need to go to Google Console, Google Cloud Console, I guess. Yeah, here. So I'm already logged in. What I have to do is we have to create a new project here. So let's start one by one. If I go to APIs and services, there is an option to select a project. So let's see. I think this was something which I created earlier. Let me create a new one. n8n Google Sheet demo. So organization, I'll be leaving is blank. So it will be created in the parent folder. Okay, so I think it's getting created. Yeah, so you can see the project here, n8n Google Sheet demo. Now we have a couple of things to do. For that, we need to enable two APIs mainly. Okay, so we have an option to enable API. I click here. So one is Google Sheet API. Yeah, let me enable this. So now we have enabled the Google Sheet API. Sorry. Now let me. Okay, we have enabled the Google Sheet API. Now let me enable the Google Drive API also, which is also required to get fetch the Google Sheets. So if I search Google Drive API, yeah, I'll be able to find this. Let me enable this Google Drive API also. Yeah, so both APIs has been enabled. Now, the next thing is here in the auth consent screen, I need to provide the permission. So if I click on get started here, an app name, so I will be giving it as n8n demo. Support email, I will be providing my email. Then next, audience, I'll be choosing the internal one. Oh, sorry. Okay, I'll be making use of external one. For internal one, I think we need to have the developer option to be enabled. So let me enable the external option. Then again, contact information. Next, agree, continue, create. So that is now done. Now, the next thing is we need to enable a test user. So under the audience option, we have the icon to add test user. So here also I'll be using the same email ID. If we not add this, we will be facing permission issues. Okay, hope it's saved. Yeah, so that is now saved. All right, now let's create credentials. So for that, if I go to IAM and admin, in the manage resources, we will be able to see the project. Okay, so for credentials here under API and services, we have the options to create credentials. Right. So let me create a auth client ID. So the application type, I'll be selecting web application in this case. So the name, again, I can give any name. So I'm just giving n8n demo. Done. And next we have authorized redirect URI. So let me add it. So for this, if I go back to n8n, and then let me try adding Google Sheet here. Here we go. So if I select this, there are multiple actions for this. For now, let's try with get rows in a sheet. So this will be able to read from Google Sheet. So let me select this. Okay, here we need to create a credential. So that's where we will be able to see the redirect URL. I'll copy this from, And then if I go back to Google Cloud here, yeah, I'll be pasting the authorized redirect URIs and then create. So when it creates, okay, let me download the JSON file, which will be having the um, client ID and secret. I can also copy it from this. Let me paste the client ID here, and the client secret will be here. Let me go ahead and paste client secret. Done. Now let me try signing in. Okay, so it is taking me to my email ID. Let me click on it and give it to continue. So you have been access to an app that's currently being tested here. So it's on a developer version. So maybe let's go and continue and give the permission. So we'll be giving view and manage permission for files in Google Drive, then delete specific files if required. So, but that all depends on the workflow which we are trying to create. But for now, let me just select all because I don't have any files associated specifically to this email ID. So when you try this, I would recommend try with a new email ID, which is not having any sensitive information or any files related to your account. So I'll do continue. Yeah, so it says connection successful. This window will close soon. Okay, let me minimize this. Done. So here you can see the task get rows in a sheet. So if I try to execute this workflow, at this stage, it should ideally get the data from Google Sheet. So let's check the logs here. Yeah, so we have the output, the content of the Google Sheet. Now, let's do some manipulations or some changes to the calculations to the Google Sheet. For that, I'll add one more step. I'll search for code here and will run a Python code in it. So by default, if you see here, we will be having a Python code. Let's try to execute this, which is ideally getting all the data from the Google Sheet. Now let's do some more changes to this. Let's say I need to get the data where the amount is greater than 500, for example. So for that, let me just create a variable rows, which is item.json for item, and I'll take it from the input dot all. Done. Now let me create one more variable. Maybe I call filtered data or filtered equals uh, for in rows. This is the one. Okay, rows. Now I'll be applying the condition. If float of so we need to check the amount whether it is greater than 500 or not. Amount greater than 500, and let's see how it comes. I'll do return filtered. Okay, so let me remove the old code here and do execution. Yeah, so we are getting the data where the amount is greater than 500. Yeah, so now let's try to create a Python code. I already have one Python code written, which will be creating a body for our email content. So let me copy that here. Yeah, so here you can see this is a body being created, rows with amount greater than 500, and there we will be printing out the date, name, and amount. Okay, let me remove this. Done. I'll do like execute here just to validate. Yeah, so the body is coming properly. Now, let me go back to the canvas and add the next step, which is send. Oops. So let me. Okay, sorry, by mistake I deactivated it. So yeah, let me search here for send email, just send email. All right. Okay, to create a credential, let's go to Google Chrome and search for Google app password. Sign in with app password. Okay, so if I search here, yeah, so it allows us to create or signing to Google account with password, not the normal password which we use. So here you can see the app password manage page. If I click here, yeah, it will take me to the app passwords page. Here I'm going to type the app name n8n demo and create. So it has created a password. Let me copy this. And now if I go back to n8n, yeah, here I can give it as password. Then user will be my email ID. Yeah. And host will be the SMTP server of Google SMTP dot and gmail.com. The rest everything is fine. Okay, let me, you can leave this host name as blank and save it. So once this is done, okay, if you see, you can connection tested successfully. Let me close this and add these operations, which is sent here. Then email ID, I'll give my email only text. So this will be the sender. And here, two email addresses. For now, let me give the same email ID so that I can check the emails right away. Done. Subject line, test data, or I'll give n8n demo data. Fine, I'll make it as normal text. Then here at the body, we need to provide expression, which will be the JSON output. So here you go, JSON, and the body which we created in the previous stage. So it will be body. Yeah. And let me save this. Done. Now, if I execute this workflow, let's see the email which I'm going to receive. Okay, so the email will look like this. And Nathan, okay, this was a spelling mistake, so I meant data. But anyways, that's not our intention. So if you see the content here, we'll be able to see rows with amount 500 greater than 500. These are the rows. So this is a simple demo where we tried to use n8n. We tried installing n8n locally in Docker Desktop and try to create a workflow which will be actually fetching the data from Google Sheet and do some calculations. So that's how n8n gives the flexibility to do automation. It actually provides an automation freedom, a very flexible one. Yeah, so that's it for now. See you in the next one. Thank you.